Good morning. It was a terrible night. Storm came through, and I was being just rained on inside my tent. Finally, I gathered my thoughts and tried to figure out how I could stop it. I was thinking about running back out to the truck and just sleeping there, but it occurred to me that I had a tarp that I used to cover the bed of the truck every now and again, and I had some bungee cords. So around 1 o'clock in the morning, while it was raining, I ran out to the truck and I managed to get a small tarp on top of the tent. Some puddles in my tent. Things are wet. Shirts are soaked. But I'm still cool. Oh, you beautiful thing. I think I better pick up some more propane. Top of my tent soaked underneath the tarp. Man. Bitch. This is the first time I had to deal with a thunderstorm while I was out here on the property camping in the tent. It rained down inside my tent. And this is a Coleman pop-up weather tech tent. Now, in all fairness, it's about 1.5 years old, but it's only been rained on one time and I wasn't here. That was last weekend. When I did show up, it did have a small puddle inside the tent, and I figured maybe it came through a door or something I didn't lock up very well. I was wrong. It came from everywhere. Oh. I know I complain, and that's okay. I mean, only because I have no one out here to talk to, you know, so I just talk out loud and I complain. But I also say a lot of good things that are happening out here. Now I know what to do. I'll pull out the tarp. I'll possibly even pick up a bigger tarp because I'm going to need it for the house anyway. So I'm supposed to get some more thunderstorms around 1 o'clock today, but hopefully until then we have some sun to help dry out a few of my things. And I got a small towel I can wipe up inside the tent and get things fixed back up. Oh. So I'm just going to enjoy my coffee for a bit. I want you to see this. Now, this is usually, if someone moves onto the property and sees a stream of water going right up and past their house and flooding that area, they would probably be devastated. But in permaculture, this is a blessing. This is huge. I can see where the water gathers there, and you can kind of even see the path. See, it runs down and forms a small, more of a puddle here, but it still keeps running down. And then you can practically see the stream. And then it runs out in that way, and then pretty much all the way out to the road, I believe. However, my food forest is going right here. This is where and some of that grass is, which means that where this water comes down, it can easily be diverted into the food forest, where it can stop and soak, flood, go to the next stage, which may be a small pond, flood, and just keep moving down. How nice would it be from where this water gathers here to dig a tiny pond there, right in the middle of the food forest, where when it rains it fills up the pond, it overflows, and then I'll have channels going back out to the food forest where it can take all that muck and all the fish poo and nutrients back out to the forest. So this is huge. To me, this is, well, some of you may know, this is a beautiful thing. Yay! Get things going, damn it. Well, what I have to do is I have to get in there and put the remaining 5 braces in these slots to keep the boards from twisting. Once I do that, hopefully I can move on to the screens for the hardware cloth. Keep all those critters out. These, on this side, this half of the house, I did a pretty good job of making this right. There's a YouTube channel called Living Tradition Homestead. Up and coming channel. They really got their big break when they did a series on raising rabbits for protein, for meat, in as much as a sustainable way as possible. I'm looking, oh, a little rain's coming down. Well, they showed pretty much from start to finish how to raise those rabbits. It was a very good series, and I really am hoping to do the same thing but with mushrooms. And I'm not talking about putting mushroom plugs into stumps and growing mushrooms. No, I'm talking about really growing mushrooms. Going to the store, picking out a mushroom you want, go home, clone it, create batches on your property, inside your house if that's what you want. Inoculate the food forest so it has that 8th layer. But you can have the mushroom that you want, like King Schafaria, King Oysters, Phoenix, Reishi would be awesome. Bury a few logs, have Rishis pop up. I mean, how amazing would that be? I have probably 20 different kinds that I can put throughout the entire property. So when it rains like this, maybe not the next morning, but the following morning, I probably would be harvesting. And doing it in a sustainable way. So once you plant it, you may have to add certain materials to it every so often, or do it in a way where the mycelium itself can jump off onto more substrate. So I'm pretty excited about that. So look for that. Having so many people take my mushroom growing workshop, it feels like I have a an extended family out there. So it's nice when I hear from them every now and again. But they tend to fade away after about a year or so, after they get confidence in themselves and they don't need my help anymore, which is always nice. It's kind of like someone who has lived with you for a long time, just kind of moved out, like an old roommate. I tell you, this one has a gap of about 3/4 of an inch. Damn. Alright, I'll let you know if this pulls together. I'm not even sure if... there. Okay. All right, that pulled it together. It's gonna hold it in place. Now I gotta get my big butt over there. Earlier I showed you how when the rain comes down, it floods through here, and then it's a running stream. Watercress, that might be a possibility here. I want every function, everything that I do is going to have a purpose to sustain me. I can't wait to be more creative with that. I can see putting logs where places become flooded and grow lion's mane mushrooms there. Or putting in my food forest and have wood chips down and inoculating it with King Stropharia. Burying a few logs in areas where I have my driveway, and bury a few logs underneath the rock and have reishi mushrooms grow out from that. Even doing a few raised beds where I may use straw, and the straw itself will be inoculated with a phoenix oyster, white oyster, pink oyster, whatever I want. Yeah, someday.